Howdy orchard lovers, this is Getting Curried Away, and this is part 2 of my 3-part update for June 30th, 2026 of my orchards. Coming up first here, we have our HoneyCrisp Tree, which you can see is very weepy, very downward growing. So I did do some summer pruning cuts on it early to try and force some fruitful growth. Some branching actually, instead of big fat fruit bud on the end of them, because I feel like this is a tip bearer, especially given how the videos I've seen of it, whether it actually has fruit on it with skill colt, it is like hanging all the way down, like the branch is just hanging straight down because of the heavy fruit. So we'll see if it fruits next year. I'm going to leave it. I'm not touching it again right now. I'm going to actually, my plan, since I don't know how some of these fruit, and I don't know if I've been cutting off fruit wood when I do my pruning in the spring or the summer, as I'm going to leave a lot of it this year. Not do, unless it's a spur bearer, I'll summer prune that because I know it's a spur bearer. But I will leave the tips on, leave the long growth, and see if it flowers. If it does not flower, then I'll come in and I'll thin it. This here is my Dorsett Golden. So we're going to do a quick test. I don't know which is the best side. I think I just push this down a little bit. So you see it's starting to yellow on the top here. It's definitely yellowing. Let's see if I pull it up here. Twist. Pull. And it's still green on the bottom. Not ready. And then this guy here. This is one where I pulled up, twist. Nope, not ready. So either one of those are ready yet. They're not coming off the tree, but they've grown a little bit. You can tell the side of the seeds is the side on the bottom here because it's thicker. That's why it's misshapen. That side over there doesn't have seeds. I think the side on the sun-facing side on the bottom one has seeds, because the seeds actually produce growth hormone, and that growth hormone causes the apple to be misshapen if there's no seeds on the other side. So that's why it's thicker on the other side. This here is a golden delicious base tree with a couple grafts on it. This here is the one that I think is Appleoosa. It doesn't have the same growth habits as the two other ones that were HoneyCrisp on the other side, and so I'm tending to think that it's an Appleoosa graft. This one here is Tropic Sweet. It put on a little growth and then just dropped some fruit buds. And then that over there is Red Fuji, also put on a little growth and then dropped potentially some fruit buds on it. This tree actually didn't put on a ton of growth this year. It did like one flush at the beginning of the season, and then it stopped. What it has done is it's put on a lot of spurs. Over here, this tree is mostly Honest Reinette. It has so many fruit buds on it. Basically every place you see a leaf on it is not just like one leaf. There's actually fruit bud formed underneath it, which is kind of insane to me. There's a bunch of extension growth on it this year, yes, but essentially they're all little fruit buds that are formed on the second year wood here. Because there's not a ton. There's only about maybe a half a foot of extension growth on this with some branching. So most of this is all second or third year wood, and it's got a ton of fruit buds on it. So that was kind of insane to me. I have a pink lemonade, and then in the back over there in the center is an Ananas apple graft. Here is a pink lemonade that is still actively growing, and it's got some good fruit buds that have started on the second year wood on it. So over here we have a very beautiful, as you can tell from like the yellowing of the leaves in some spots, like down there for instance, HoneyCrisp. It's put on a ton of growth this year. It was actually pretty small, and it's finally started to grow and thicken up. So I need to get in there and spread some of these branches out a little bit more that are lower. I'm fine with the lower growth now that I got the fence on it. But this is going to be the main trunk right here. I'm going to try to basically nip the tip up here at the end of the season, start next growing season, and then just pick the buds I want to grow as branches off of it up here. And then leave everything else just as like my first go at fruiting wood. This here is my winter banana apple. It wants to grow all of its growth over on this side. Once again, I need to get a spreader out here now that I have the fencing and actually push this down a little bit so it's more fruitful growth instead of upright growth like that. But all the other growth is pretty good. I just wish I'm gonna have to also notch and get a branch out in this direction over here next year because it's really empty over in this space. I need to fill in this space appropriately. This tree, on the other hand, I have no issues with branches in every direction. This is pink Parfait, and it looks great. It's actually putting on even more growth now. It had stopped for a bit, and now it's putting on more growth. I got to come through here and thin a couple branches out to get some airflow, better air circulation in there. But right now, it looks really good. I'm happy with it. I'm not sure how it sets either, so I may leave them and then just recut later. All right, so this tree here is my Liberty apple tree. It hasn't put on a lot of growth, just its first flush, except for this branch here. It's put on a little bit of growth. This down here is a white winter Pearmain. So I have that growing just a little bit there. And then over there's a pink pearl, and it's got lots of growth on it here, so hopefully we'll get some fruit off of it this year. I have another parchment paper here. This one not for apple measles. This one to protect because one of the apples was starting to get sunburned because it was directly in like the 12 to 2 o'clock sunlight hitting on it, and that was causing it to get a sunburn on it. So this is the only interesting peach tree I have right now. I'm gonna wipe off my lens because I had it in the freezer because it was overheating, and it has several peaches on it right now. I'm pretty sure it's a different variety than all my other peaches I have, which is this one, this one. Those 3 over there are white peaches. There's 3 nectarines. I did summer pruning on them, as you can see already. I got to clean up the mess before the trash people come tomorrow. This one was grown, this peach tree was grown from that peach tree, from a seed from that peach tree. And then, like I said, I think this is a different variety because this still has fruits that are just starting to show color now, whereas all the peaches off of this tree and this tree are already gone. So I'm pretty sure I got a different variety. All right, so this is Queen Cox. It's put on just a tiny bit of top growth, which is kind of crazy because that's the apically dominant part, but there's been a lot of growth here, about a foot of growth here around the branching structure, and it's starting to finally put on a secondary summer flush of growth. So hopefully that will continue, and maybe the top will start to grow again, and I'll get a little higher up because I want to get branching higher up for when I can actually remove these deer fencing, so I don't have to worry about deer fencing. And this is a pink lemonade apple tree here. And so what happened here is I had this fence up, but I didn't have any stakes. I only had one stake, and it was on the other side. And the deer took it and got its horns or something, just pushed into it or something, and lifted it up off of that stake, and then it got caught on the deer, and the deer freaked out. And so when the deer freaked out, it took a big chunk out of the trunk. Chunk out of the trunk. I rhymed. And so it's actually healed over nicely, and it hadn't really affected its growth. It's grown like a weed this year. So hopefully it'll thicken up that trunk over time and close off that wound eventually. Over here is my Ein Shemer apple tree. I made a mistake with this one, most likely, and I left a lot of fruit on it. It's his first year in the ground. I shouldn't even let it fruit at all. I should have picked everything off, but I'm greedy. It's my orchard. I get to do what I want. If it doesn't grow great, oh well. But it hadn't grown a lot, but it's got like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fruits on it right now, and it's not put on a ton of leaf growth. This is all shoot growth over here that's really good. It's filling in that side. But it had really good roots, so I feel like it's okay. I will be trimming this branch back to about where the string is that's holding it up right now, just because it's too far out and it's hanging. Even though there's a really nice fruit bud down there, I don't want it to set fruit that far because it's It's not thick enough to hold that weight. And then finally, this is my last apple tree in the front yard. This is Florina apple tree. It has put on a really good amount of growth here, as you can see. Really good branching. I'll come and I'll tip prune this back. Actually, it's got some fruit spurs, but I've heard this is also a variety that may fruit on the tips, but they're really long, so I wouldn't really want them to fruit that long right now. So I'll probably come in and I'll just tip prune them. I'll prune them back to maybe a couple of buds down here and just let them regrow next year. And I have to decide what I want to do in this space over here because it's really full, and then I'll have to notch over here to get branching out in this direction here. Thank you so much everyone for watching part 2. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and hit that bell button to get notifications when I upload new videos. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in part 3. Take care now.